basically just a little bit about ranting and a little bit more about me. If I seem like I'm, sad and depressed at the moment, it's because I am. Yeah. A lot of stuff happens in my home life that, brings me down, but just try not to worry about it. So, my ex and me broke up. I'm trying to find the screenshots of it. Or not really screenshots. Okay, so, we met. Oh my gosh, I'm literally like. Okay, so, I'm trying to find it. Okay, so, I had fall break from the 6th to the 10th of October. So we met the Monday, the 29th, the week before fall break. Well, I've always had this fantasy of dating somebody in October so I could sing the song and fell in love in October. So we waited to date for the 1st of October. Well, things are fine. Started dating. Well, on the 7th, normally we would call after school. Well, where he lives in Puerto Rico, but the part in Puerto Rico where he lives, he does not have, what's it called? He doesn't have fall break, so, he, we couldn't call, whenever I wanted. We could only call at school. And I'm really good at memorizing schedules, so if this seems weird to you, don't find it weird. But he always gets home around, 3:15 every day. Maybe a little bit after that, or a little bit before that. And normally it's 3:15. But, so, after then, we would call. Well, Monday, everything is fine. We call after school, he's calling me baby, everything. Right? Well, Tuesday, I said, good morning, baby, at 8:43. At 12:37, I told him I was home alone at the moment. Now, I'm not, the, dirty type of person, because, just reasons I'm not like that. Oh, my hair's curly. It looks good. Anyway, so I'm not the person trying to do that. So, basically, I, don't know the person. So, I just like to announce what I do half the time. So, I told him that I was, home alone. So, then, he texts me after school and goes, hey, I'm home alone too. And so I was like, oh, that's fun. And like I said, every day after school, we would call. So I told him, I was like, do you want to call? And he goes, I'm not in the mood right now. That was his exact words. I literally have our stress pulled up right here. That was his exact words. I'm not in the mood right now. So I assumed, something happened at school, because he wasn't like this before. So I was like, okay, something might have happened at school, So, I just don't really text him that day, and we don't really call. Well, next morning, I text him and I said, good morning, at 8:16. He texts me and he goes, hey baby, good morning. Sorry about yesterday. I wasn't feeling my best. I'm sorry. And I said, don't worry about it. I get it. You weren't feeling the best. And we all have our bad days. I have basically a bad day every day because, here. So, also at school, I get bullied a lot at school. So, yeah, it's kind of bad. People tell me that I'm annoying and I should shut up all the time. So, that's kind of what I'm resting towards. I'm not going to, automatically do it. I'm just going to kind of get, quieter as the days pass on so nobody, really notices. But, yeah, because apparently I'm annoying and I should shut up. So, apparently I'm fat, too. That's what people tell me all the time. They're like, you're fat, you're annoying, shut up. Why are you so loud? And yeah, so. Also, if I'm talking low, I'm just trying to fix my voice half the time. Yeah, so. So it happens, but it's whatever. It's fun to hurt me, so. Yeah. Anyway. So, we were texting, not good, everything was fine. And, we were good. He was texting me, he loved me, and like we used to before that happened. Well, next day, he didn't have school on. Okay, hang on. He didn't have school that Wednesday, and that was when he was like saying he was sorry and stuff. He didn't have school that Wednesday for some reason. He didn't have school that Monday. The Monday after fall break, my fall break, which we didn't have school Monday either because it was an in-service day. So we are texting that day, and we barely called that day either. We used to call like all day, and now we don't. And we didn't for those past 2 days. We just barely stopped calling. So that morning, I said good morning at 10:09. At 3:22, I said I love you, honey. At 4:01, I said I miss you, and then at 4:45, I said baby ? Because he wasn't answering me, and I was like either. And I knew I shouldn't have texted him because, I was probably bothering him. He was probably busy. But 4:53, he says, hi, I was just doing something thinking. I said, okay, I'm sorry if I bothered you. I love you. He goes, yeah, bye. And normally he'll go, I love you too. This time, he didn't. He just said, yeah, bye. And with me, I can tell when somebody's like being, distant and annoyed or sad just based on their texting and their tone of voice, if we're calling or whatever. So, on Tuesday, I was like, okay, something might have happened at school, but I was also feeling like he was falling out of love with me. Well, that Wednesday, I had a big feeling that we were going to break up because of the way he'd been acting and, barely saying he loved me anymore, barely called me baby and stuff. So like I said, I make predictions, and they, like, it's not exact day predictions, like, oh, this is going to happen on this day, and then it does. Like, it's just like a, hey, this is going to happen soon, and then it does. So I kind of had a feeling we were going to break up. So, when I said I love you, and he goes, yeah, bye, I said, baby, you're not okay. Then I said, do you want to talk about it? And then at 5:26, mind you, this was all at 4:57 p.m. At 5:26 p.m., I said, are you doing okay? And I called him babe. I said, are you doing okay, babe? He goes, don't call me that. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. So apparently he just wanted to break, and now we're barely talking, and he acts like he freaking hates me all the time. So, yeah. So if he's not gonna text me, if I gotta text first, I'm not texting first anymore. He can literally, like, if he doesn't want to text me, he doesn't gotta text me. Like, if I'm gonna be the one texting first, I'm not doing that. If he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me. I'm not talking first. And I haven't done it all day. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that. Yeah. So, I literally do not like him. But, whatever. And I've tried to be sweet with him after trying to get, him back as soon as possible because I freaking loved him. But nope. He had other plans. And then I found out he was talking to another girl. And when I date somebody, when I date a guy, I don't talk to other guys. I don't. So I found out he was talking to other girls, which freaking hurt. So yeah. He was doing that while, dating me. I made this in a Walmart aisle. Yeah. And then somebody walked in while I was doing it, so. Oh, you can't even see that, sorry. Hang on. Okay. I made this in a Walmart aisle. Watch, you can see when somebody walks in, you ready? Because I look over. Or, I don't look over, the other video I looked over, but I went like this instead of like this. Because normally I go, freak out. Freak out. Like, normally I like run my hands through my body. Nope, I went like this. Because somebody walked in the aisle. And it was a mom and her kid. And I was in the paint aisle because I was getting paint for a project I'm doing for my freaking math teacher. Yeah, so somebody walked in the aisle. And I was like, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for Halloween. I don't like people. People actually really suck. And I can go do other stuff. Yeah. No, because literally, okay, like I said, I like singing, and sometimes I'll sing random stuff. Like, it'll just be so random. I'll be sitting there, like, doing nothing. Like, it'll be so quiet, and then you'll just hear me start randomly singing. It's out of the random, and it's kind of funny, but also, again, people find me annoying, so I guess they find me annoying. And see, that's something I'm trying to, like, kind of work on, is not being so annoying half the time. Because of that. I feel like I can just do that. And it goes. I have so much hair. Okay, this is when I'll show you one of my favorite hairstyles. So basically, let me part my hair. My hair is probably going to look so bad from the back once I do this, but don't mind my naughty hair. So normally I'll take it like this. And normally it'll do this on its own, but sometimes when I actually want to do it, I'll take this right here in the front. And I tuck it behind my ear. So it creates that right there. And I'll just put my hair over it, and it like goes down like that, and then it has this over it. I love doing that. And then I just do it with the other side. Yeah, just tuck it. Stop. And I found it a really cute hairstyle to do. And then I can just like go like that in the back, and boom. That's one of like my favorite ones. And it looks more natural sometimes too. But I'm gonna take that out. Yeah, normally I'll just tuck my hair behind my ear and it'll automatically come out. Like if I do that. Cause I have, to where I have so much hair, like look at all of this hair. No, it's gonna look really bad for a minute. Look at all of this hair. It's really thick and stuff. It's all curly on the underside. But yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go make another video. Love you. Bye.